All right, welcome back to Hope Squad Live, which I am now officially on this date changing to the Hopecast. That's the name now. No one can tell me otherwise because I make the rules. So, today or this week, we have uh, Jack Durbano with us. He's a
Hello.
senior over here at St. Joe's. And what's your whole shtick, Jack? What do you like to do?
Well, now that I have a lot more free time, I'm really just hanging around. I've just been on my computer a bunch, playing a couple of games. Like I play Minecraft a lot, or I'll play like Kerbal Space Program. But other than that, I'm usually just like playing guitar or talking with friends. It's not that nothing really exciting
Right.
because I don't really get to go out much. But
That seems like a lot of life right now. It's
mm-hmm,
just a little bit of just a waiting period, maybe.
exactly.
Yeah. Is there anything like as you've been kind of stuck in your house, maybe? Is there anything that you've been maybe thinking about mental, like any mental? How's your mental health doing? Is what I'm trying to say. Is how's your mental health, or like how's your physical health on that too? On that
Uh,
matter.
my mental health is doing pretty good. At first, it was a bit rough because the idea of me like not having a complete senior year kind of hit in really quick. Like I wouldn't get to see my friends again, or like my normal graduation would be canceled, or like it's just small stuff like that that actually meant a lot to me, like a prom. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to go to a final prom, but it's okay. After a while, I accepted it because I didn't have a choice really. So I've been doing a lot better lately. And then physical health, doing pretty good. I haven't worked out a whole lot. I actually had to go to the doctor yesterday actually, because I actually might have two hernias, just because of why not.
Just out of
Um,
nowhere, that
just
just happened.
kind of out of nowhere. It was like nothing I did that caused a hernia. It's just like apparently it's just something that happens like when you're
Huh.
born or something. It just wears out. So I might have two hernias. I'm going in Thursday for an ultrasound to find out. But yeah, I was at the doctor and they weighed me, and I've actually lost like 4 pounds since quarantine.
Wow. That
So
sounds like the
yeah, I've been.
opposite of what people are complaining
I
about.
know everyone's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna get fat or like unhealthy." Nah, I'm
Yeah.
actually toning up over here. Nah, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to stay healthy, really. Trying to eat, make sure I eat all three meals. But that's
Yeah.
hard with school because school is like my takes up my breakfast and lunch sometimes. So yeah, I try to eat when I can. Dinner is nice though because I get to eat with my family.
That's good.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of been something similar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my physical health wasn't like super peak, but it's been a change. It's been a change because PE class and whatnot. Your normal high school workout, whatever things you do.
Mm-hmm.
But my emotional, like my health, like if you asked me about a week ago, it probably wouldn't have been as great because I've been really stressed lately. But that's
Oh
kind of like
really?
lifted after I finished my AP Sem stuff because that's pretty much
Mm.
done for the
I
year.
I, I had that actually last week too. I had like a big English project and my humanities semester final was due both on Friday. So that last week was a stressful one for me too, but
Yeah,
I feel a lot better.
and it doesn't help that online PE is a thing.
I've heard about that and I couldn't even imagine what y'all are going through.
It's not fun. It's basically just writing. It's like a second English class, but
Hmm.
for physical fitness, which is
Oh geez.
debatably needed.
Yeah, I see. I had when I was in a PE class, like a Fit for Life class. That was with the old teachers, like Mr. Wood and Coach Cravens. Did you ever know Mr. Wood?
I had met him
He might have
briefly,
been
like
like
right
the.
before my freshman year started,
Oh, he
because he
must
was
have been
like,
the year
hey, what's
after.
up, man? Uh, uh, I'm not gonna be here next year at the like
Yeah.
orientation or whatever. He was
Hmm.
like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna be here next year, so
Yeah, I had Mr. Wood for Fit for Life, and I had Coach Cravens for PE. And those were both a blast because I'm not gonna lie, we just played games in both class. Like every
Yeah.
day was games, and it was so fun.
Yeah. Good times.
Very good times.
So, what are your what are your thoughts on the like? I know you touched on it already a little bit, but what are your thoughts on the whole end of the year coming so abruptly? Kind of just saying on a Friday, because this is how I remember it. It was just on a Friday, them saying, "Get your stuff, like you're not coming
Mm,
back." So that kind of
yeah.
messed with me.
uh, Looking back, I'd wish I'd like probably said bye more to people because um that was one thing that kind of got me emotional is that I might not see some of those people ever again. Luckily, I've seen a good amount of them again though. But looking back, that was kind of at first it was like a joyous occasion because it was like, oh my, school is off. Like we get the rest of the year or like just a long time to ourselves.
Yeah, because originally it was going to be 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, and then time just went on and things got worse and that's when it hit me and I was even talking with Jagger about this last week. Like it just hit me. It was like, oh, my our year is over. We only got 1 year and that was it. And for it to just end so quickly, I try not to live with too many regrets, but there were a couple where I was like, oh, I wish I'd done this or that like before we'd gotten out. But then it was like, how could I have known? Like how could I have possibly known that we wouldn't have come back for months? Like when did we leave? Late March, probably
It's
mid
like
March.
5 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, it's been at least a month and a half at least. But it was like, yeah, it was just the big deal with it was like, I wish I'd done this or that. And then just trying to move on from that was really hard and definitely took me a while. But, um, it's just a reality that I had to accept because I couldn't change it. So I didn't see any point in like groveling over it anymore. So I just accepted it. Yeah. How did that affect you? How did you feel?
Well, I mean, it probably didn't affect me as much as I thought it. Like, because I mean, like it's your sophomore year, you still got a little while left,
Yeah,
and maybe
yeah.
when I get to your point, I'm gonna probably think back and be like, I wish I had that extra time. But
Hmm. And that's what I was like when I talk with kids younger than me, like juniors or sophomores. They were like, "Yeah, it's like it's not too bad. I'll get to see everybody again in August." And but then it's like for us, it's like, "Oh, well, you're done. Go to college." And it's like
yeah,
with me, I'm going to California away from most of my friends, and so I won't be able to just see anybody till like Thanksgiving or Christmas. So it's gonna be a change, and it has been a change, but we'll get through it.
for sure. Um, Thanks for sharing that.
Of
Um,
course.
what are your thoughts? I heard. Okay, so I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard they're doing a live streamed graduation thing.
Mm. I have so our graduation plan is May 18th, which I believe is like next Monday or maybe it's Sunday. Today's the 12th. I don't know. I can't think of that right now. But on May 18th, all the seniors one at a time are going to go in and get their cap and gown, like from the school, and then some other date, which I don't remember.
It was like
We're going to be
June,
going.
maybe. I
What is
heard
it?
it was. I heard it was like June.
June 12th will be our graduation because we are having a live graduation. We're going to be doing it in the soccer field, and
Right.
it's going to be really cool because it's going to be like towards the nighttime, and so the sun will be setting behind us. It'll be super neat. But then there is some day in between those where we're going into St. Joseph's Church to get our picture taken one at a time. So for us, we're lucky there is no virtual graduation, and we're lucky we even have a graduation because some schools like Ogden or probably Bonneville or something. No, I don't think Bonneville, but definitely Ogden. Ogden's just not giving them a graduation, just nothing for it,
Really.
which a lot of people are super butthurt about that.
I would
And
be. I
I
would
would be
100%
too.
be.
Yeah, I would be too.
Just out of
Um,
nowhere, learning that it's
hmm
just over.
yeah. But yeah, so that's our plan. Live graduation in the soccer field, June 12th. I think it might just be like immediate family only
Right.
to attend. So on the bleachers, maybe. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited to see everybody again at least.
Here's another question.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a different one.
Mm-hmm.
How have you picked up any weird hobbies or new little tricks or anything like that as you've been just kind of sitting alone doing pretty much
Hmm.
whatever?
No new hobbies. I've mostly just been sticking to what I know, like playing guitar. I've definitely gotten a lot better at guitar because I've had more time to focus, which is nice. Um, I've been paying a lot more attention to my snake. He's been super active and like crawling around and such around his cage. And it's super fun to watch him. He's so like it's almost hypnotic watching him move around.
Yeah, that's like fish for me. Like I
Yeah,
can just
I
sit and
get
watch
that.
fish for a while.
I think it actually has some like psychological basis where it's like a therapeutic thing
I
watching
believe
a
it.
snake or fish. I forget the exact data though. So
All right.
yeah.
Um, is there? Here's another question.
Hmm.
This is going to be a series of a bunch of things that are kind of happening right now and other like memory kind of things.
Okay.
Is there anything that you wished you could have done differently during the time you had at St. Joe's? And with that, maybe sharing a favorite memory of yours at St. Joe's.
Ooh, now that's a tough one because always trying to think of a favorite memory is really hard for me because I have so many. I've had
Right.
so many amazing memories. Um, to do differently. That's a hard one. Even probably harder than coming up with the greatest memory. So I'd say for a greatest memory, is probably um the one that I did write down for the staff because they asked me. I wrote um what was it? It was oh yeah. After like we come home or come back from like a break or a vacation, like a spring break or Christmas vacation, we'll come back and I just really enjoyed that vibe of coming back like early in the morning. There's snow. That's probably what I love the most is winter at school. You drive in early in the morning. It's still kind of dark out. It's snowing a lot. You walk into class, you see all your friends. It's like cozy in there. That's probably my favorite memory from being at St. Joe's. And then what I do
So not
differently,
as much a memory, but more of
an
like
experience.
an experience that kind of
Yeah.
just yeah
Like, yeah, a vibe, you can almost say.
yeah.
Um, but then something I'd probably change if I were to do differently, I probably just try to be quieter. Because when I was younger, like a freshman or sophomore, uh, if you don't know, like junior and senior year, I got a lot quieter. And it's not just for like social reasons. I'm not like, I don't have like that bad of social anxiety. But what I started to do was I started to sit back and just listen. I started like reflect more. I started to look at people. I started to take in people. And I think that's because a lot of people say that like I'm a super cool dude or that they really like me. And like that's a great compliment, but I'm always like, what makes me so much better? And I think it's probably maybe what it is just that like I listen to people. Like I don't try to uh supersede their thoughts with my own. I just listen to what they have to say and take it for what they said and not what I thought. In fact, there was this quote that I heard. I don't know who said it, but it was, uh, I think it was something along the lines, paraphrasing. It's like, what makes an interesting man interesting is him being interested. So, like, maybe that's just what it is. I'm constantly interested in people and learning about people and seeing how people work. And so, if I were to change anything, I wish I could have learned that earlier. Because if I could have done that when I was a freshman or sophomore, life probably would have been a lot easier for me. I probably could have learned a lot more about people sooner. Probably could have made some great relationships sooner. Um, so that's probably what I'd change. Just listen more, listen better. That's probably the most important thing you can do.
That's actually really good advice.
Thank you.
Um, is there here's the second of the three
Hmm.
bombardment of questions. This one is how is there anything that you're going to be doing in the future to help you appreciate what you kind of had, like the community at St. Joseph's? Like, is there anything that you're going to maybe miss or want to be with more?
I'm probably gonna miss how tight our community was. Because we're a small school. We were only 179-ish kids, give or take a few. And whenever I tell people that, they're like, really? That's like half of my own grade. And I'm like, yeah, we're pretty small. But what's nice about that is that you get to know people. It's kind of like what I was just talking about. You get to understand people and how they work much easier. You see them all the time. You see them every day. You're kind of forced to interact with them, but it's not like a bad force. It's just like they ease you into this relationship and you kind of naturally fall into place in this like I don't want to say social hierarchy, but just like this social web you kind of fall into just very naturally. um and it does take a bit because I remember when I first came to the high school, it took me a while to settle into like a friend group and like where I was, because it's a big change being in high school, being the young one at first. I remember that. But then once like I got older, I kind of settled into place better, and I found some great friends, and I found people who genuinely cared about me. And that's probably like what I appreciate about St. Joe's is that we're very tight. Everybody knows everybody most of the time. I actually don't know a whole lot of the freshmen, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have many classes with them. If I had classes with them, I'd know them, but I don't. Um, Yeah, like going to college, I'm still going to a small college, but even then it's like 3,500 kids, or adults, I should say. That's weird.
well, yeah.
Um, it's like 3,500 kids, but it's like I'm not gonna get to know all of them. I'll only get to know a small bit. And another thing I'll probably miss and like appreciate about St. Joe's is how easy it is to like make friends there, because you're forced into a class, you're kind of forced to be comfortable. And that's in college, you have a lot more freedom. I'm sure when I go there and I come back, you can ask me all about it, because I'll be on my own. I won't have like the strain of my parents like telling me where to go or what to do at what time. It's all on me. And so I'd have like making friends or like being social is something that I'm gonna have to actually work for if I want it. And so that's probably something that I will appreciate about St. Joe's moving forward is the easiness of this. How do you say that? How easy it is to be social at St. Joe's. That's probably what I'll appreciate.
Yeah. And it also helps that, the Catholic mindset kind of helps put that in place where you kind of have to be nice to each other.
That is very true. And even given that a lot of our school isn't even that Catholic, but like I am Catholic, so I do have that moral backing.
Right.
But it's not even like you need a Catholic backing to like be a good person. Like a lot of people share the same moral code as Catholics. And it's like even like when I'm talking with friends, a lot of my friends aren't even Catholic. I might even have I have a few atheist friends, but it's not like that. It's not like we let our religion like get in the way of like how we're friends or how we treat certain situations. Yes, like in some things there will be a disagreement based on religion or
Yeah.
based on belief or moral code, but that doesn't show up that often. We really just interact as people and as friends, and we just don't worry about like what makes us different. We just worry about what makes us the same.
And I think that kind of playing on that is, I mean, they're the only people you got, so you got to kind of treat them with that kind of
Hmm.
respect as them being people, because you don't, in a small school, there's not many people who you can just go to and make new friends, just kind of join a
Yeah.
new friend group. That's the only, like, difficulty that I really see with a small group of people, other than word spreads fast, gossip, whatever.
And that's like with like the small group, something that I've found that the more you do something, even if at first you don't like it, the more you do it, the more you'll actually enjoy it. The more you'll learn it, the more you voluntarily put yourself into that situation, even if you don't like it, you will learn to love it or at least like it, be able to bear it. So that's where the easiness can come in. Because I remember when I first joined humanities this year, I wasn't the greatest friends with some of the wonderful gals in the class. We didn't share the same belief system really at all on certain subjects. And at first I was like, oh man, I hope this doesn't turn into like an argument fest. Like I don't want to say something wrong. But
Yeah,
then just like as time went on, like the more I talked with them and the more I just put myself into the situation, uh, the easier it became. Just like be friends with them, strike up a conversation with them, easy peasy. And so, yeah, that's like where the small friend group comes in is like you're forced to be around them, but the more you put yourself with them and make yourself do this, the easier it'll become.
that's very true with our small little social circle we
Mm-hmm.
have at St. Joe's,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of takes us to the next question a little bit. And is there anything like that you are going to be doing now? Like, obviously, there's the graduations coming up, but is there anything you're going to be doing like in the present to maybe appreciate the time that you've had with those people, to kind of, I don't know, maybe thank them, or be, I don't know, kind of grateful for the stuff that you've had happen to you already?
That's a great question. Now me just as a person, I struggle with gift giving. It's not
Right.
my forte. Like not it's not that I don't want to give them gifts. I'm just not the greatest at it. I forget about it. But to me, I think, and this is completely subjective, but I think like the greatest gift that I could probably give somebody is like my attention, my love, my care, and like my signs that like I genuinely want to listen to them and like hear what they have to say. And I did actually do this with a teacher. I wrote Mr. Loosemore a very personal note. It was for a grade, but it was also, I took the time to make it a very personal and meaningful note. And it was just, that was how I felt like to him, I could properly express how much he like influenced my life. And there were some other teachers like Senora, and hers, I kind of wrote her a little note, but it was on a Facebook comment section is where I sent that note. And it's not like I didn't care if people read it. Somebody actually liked it. But I was like, it's just like that's how I appreciate them, is showing them how much they've influenced me and how much like even if they don't think I've listened to them, that's how I show them how much I have actually listened to them. And I do it with every teacher if I can. Like, and even if I don't end up showing it, I like every teacher, I cherish their time, I cherish their opinion because each one teaches me something different about life, about school, about like relationships. They always teach me something different. And it's so amazing to have such amazing people around me that can help me with that. And that's not even including friends. I've had friends who have taught me everything about myself, about other people, about themselves, about how to be like a good person around people, how to be a good person to myself. Um, it just takes the right people. And there have been some times where I've met like people who don't bring out the best in me or who don't bring out the best in others. And so I just won't listen to them because what they say either like contradicts what others say, contradict my own beliefs, and it's not like I'm not open to other beliefs. It's
Right.
just their beliefs were like, "Ooh, you better stop, or else that's a bad path."
Yeah, in a way,
Um,
kind of like, I don't know, maybe instead of forwarding the conversation, it kind of brings it back two spaces.
it devolves the conversation
Right.
rather than taking it in a different, more expansive direction. It just pulls it back. It recedes. So yeah, that's probably how I'm trying to appreciate the people that mean a lot to me right now in the present. It's just showing them how much I care, just by showing them that I do care for them and that I love them and like genuinely listen and cherish what they tell me.
Yeah. That's actually a really good uh, insight on life to kind of pay attention and listen to people more than just kind of, I don't know, put your opinion out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like that's what I think can lead to well-roundedness. It's just listening. There's so many different opinions out there, so many different belief sets that differ from yours and mine. And so what makes ours so special that we shouldn't listen to theirs? For
sure.
me, how it goes in like a negotiation or discussion or like debate is I try to hear their side because like I obviously have my opinion, but what makes their opinion so strong to them that they're willing to debate it to me? And so that's what I try to listen for in their voice, in their mannerisms, and in the words that they say. That's what I always try to pay attention for is like the amount of expression they show in these things. And that's whenever I'm in a debate, that's what I try to show to the other side is why my opinion matters so much to me. And I'm never saying it's right. I'm just showing why it matters so much to me. And that's something that I always think is great to keep in mind when you're having a negotiation or debate, especially like a big political or religious debate. That's the most important thing is to take your time and listen to what they're saying and
Rather
to
than
get
forcing.
their background. Yeah, rather than forcing yours, it's nice to be able to hear what they have to say. And it honestly, sometimes people need like attention. And it's not like a bad thing to need attention. And that's where listening can come in, is because it can give that person that well needed attention that they've been like wanting for so long. Maybe they haven't gotten it from their partner or their parents or their friends. They just want to like be heard, and it's nice to be there for them to just listen to what they have to say, especially if it's something they're passionate about, because everybody has a passion even if it's not obvious. And so just be able to listen to them and understand where they're coming from and listen to what makes that person them and what makes their passion shine so brightly in their heart, I think is like it's like the most important thing that you can do as a person and as a friend and as a son. Like as sons, that's the best thing we can do is listen to our parents about like what they say and why they say things. Or like as friends, as students, as colleagues, it's just everything. Every relationship you can have, there's a backing to like how you can make it better and how you can make it stronger just by listening. That's probably, if there's going to be any takeaway from this video,
Right.
it's just going to be listen. Please just listen to people. Don't argue, be understanding, and just stay calm. Because people cherish when you're calm. People love it when you're calm, and listen to them. Because maybe that's all they need. Because you don't know what somebody else is going through. They could have had a bad day, and all they needed was that vent. And you can be that vent for them if you just take a moment and listen.
Yeah, and if someone asks you and they're listening to you, you should always be truthful and
Exactly. And
try to enforce the. I mean, maybe not as in like fishing for, compliments or whatever or anything like that, but you
yeah,
should definitely try to uh, be honest with
definitely.
yourself and your intentions. As you were saying, like it helps to listen, and it also helps to, you know, try to be honest with your responses to something that someone says. Uh,
Hmm.
they may not like it at first or whatnot, but in the end,
Just
it
like,
really is. It
yeah.
just really matters on
Hmm.
how what they think you think, just so that they can understand other points of view as well and help them become a better listener in turn. So
Yeah, and I know we're running out of time, but I just want to touch on that honesty because that's another one of the biggest things. Nobody likes being lied to, um, but sometimes you feel like you just have to do it. In a certain situation, you're like, okay, I gotta calm them down, so I'm just gonna say this lie, like, yes, I agree with you, or like just like get the conversation over. But sometimes you just like it's the most important thing to be honest because without honesty, sometimes they won't change. If everybody agrees with like a bad action, like if somebody like is like graffitiing a wall and everybody that walks by is like, hey man, go off. That's awesome. Keep going.
yeah,
Like they'll just keep going. They'll see no reason to change.
and it won't
But
stop.
if you're honest with them and tell them, hey, I don't think that's the best thing to do, it's kind of like defacing this private property. Maybe, just maybe, they'll think about it and take what you said to heart and like realize, oh, this isn't the best thing. And it takes a lot of maturity to do that. And I think that's another thing, whole nother topic is maturity to do these things. Because it's all easy. It's much easier said than done, everything that I've said.
Right.
Um, but it just takes practice, is honestly everything that I've said just takes practice. Listening takes practice, understanding takes practice. Everything you do takes practice. And so that's probably where I'd leave that off right there.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to
Yeah.
end it off with a couple remarks. The first one being, since we've been talking about all this future, past, present stuff, I wanted to end the session on a quick little quote from a character from a movie that pretty much everyone, and if you don't, well, you're wrong. Everyone loves Kung Fu Panda.
Oh yeah.
It's a quote from Master Oogway. So
Ooh.
it's today is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
That's
And
honestly a great quote.
it really is. The writers of that film knew what they were doing.
On point.
Yeah. And if there's any final remarks that you'd like to say, other than, well, be honest and just listen.
Exactly. Be honest, listen, be understanding, be caring, be genuine. Be yourself and be genuine. That's the one thing that nobody can take away from you is yourself. And so just be yourself. There's no harm in it. It doesn't hurt anybody else. Just be yourself, be genuine. And thank you very much, Elijah.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. And if you have any personal problems or anything like that that you're going through, there is a place where you can reach out to for suicide prevention, or if you're suspicious of any suicidal activity, just call the number of Hope Squad 801-342-3447. They are very generous people. They're very kind. And
Oh, they are.
They
They really are.
They will help with pretty much anything. They have a very good group of therapists and other things like that. So go check them out if you have a friend who's in need of help, or just want to see what their whole shtick is about. But that's enough from us. Thanks for tuning in onto this episode of the Hopecast, is what it is now. So anyway, thanks for coming on, Jack.
Thank you, Elijah.
All right, see ya.
We'll see you.